Towards the end of 2024, I really got back into reading. I've been reading all of the Hunger Games books. So far, I've read Hunger Games and Catching Fire. And that led me to really want to fully get back into reading. I've been buying books. It's been a very bad habit very quickly. This has caused one of my resolutions for 2025 to read all of A Song of Ice and Fire. But not only read it, I am going to tandem watch it with the show that I've only seen one time. I have never read the books before. So yeah, I really want to start this project. It's probably going to take all year because I'm going to take it very, very seriously. And consider this part one of the series where I'm going to vlog my experience here on TikTok or here on YouTube, whichever way you're watching it. Just make sure you're following the other one. We don't know how this band is going to go on TikTok, so make sure you're following me on YouTube as well. And in this part one of my series, I'm going to let you know my plan of how I'm going to kind of separate all of these and how I'm going to watch the show. So let's get into that. So how I'm going to do this is read a book, watch a season. So obviously I'm going to start with a Game of Thrones. The first book, I'll vlog my way through it and then make a main review on my main channel. A Game of Thrones obviously got adapted into Game of Thrones Season 1. Up next is A Clash of Kings, and that got adapted into Season 2 of Game of Thrones, so video on each of these. Book 3 I know is a doozy, and that is A Storm of Swords, which got adapted into 2 separate seasons, Seasons 3 and 4 of the show. Watch each individual season and make a video on that maybe, or I'll do them at the same time. Since it's adapting one book, I haven't really decided on that yet. A Feast for Crows is book number 4, and that happens at the same time with book 5, A Dance with Dragons. I am going to read these books separately. They did come out at separate times. I'm not going to tandem read both books. To me, I feel like that's not what George R. R. Martin intended, and that's what I could do for a second reading. And this is what I've heard from other Game of Thrones creators, is that books 4 and 5 were adapted into a single season of the show. After that, season 6, 7, and 8 are what's left over for the show. So this is how I am going to do the layout of this project. I'm going to try to do a book a month, and then a TV show in 3 weeks. So just make sure you're following me on TikTok and YouTube. My channels are called Grizzly Reviews. I'm so excited to get into reading and watching the show. So let's just have the most fun. And we're not here to hate until it becomes worthy of hate. Seasons 5, 6, 7, 8.